A law firm will want to know you're truly committed to a career in law. When the cost of training one recruit alone is in the hundreds of thousands of pounds, graduate recruiters really need to know that you're serious. They're all too aware that applicants may be able to talk the talk. Gaining work experience, whether in a law firm or otherwise, goes a huge way to demonstrate just how much you want to become a lawyer. Aware that building work experience is anything but easy, however, All About Law has quizzed some of the largest law firms in the world to get a better understanding of it all.
In terms of work experience, just having the experience itself to talk about on the application form will be really good as long as you actually make the most of talking about it. Again, the trap that a lot of applicants fall into is they just say, oh, I did work experience at, and then they name the particular firm or the company. And that's great, but what it doesn't tell me is what you were doing, but also what you've learned from doing that work experience. So make sure that when you're talking about it on an application form, you're talking about, it's not even so much what you've done, but it's what you learned from it.
I think work experience makes you more employable by developing your skills and developing your confidence. It then means when you go for interview and you meet employers, you're able to demonstrate those skills, you're able to talk with some knowledge about what it would be like to be a trainee solicitor, what the plus sides might be, what the downsides would be, for example things like long hours, tight deadlines, can be quite stressful, but you've actually had a chance to experience that. And you can talk about that with some knowledge.
I think it benefits in a number of respects. I think firstly, certainly as part of an application process, it shows motivation and commitment. Instantly we see here is someone that's not just telling us they've got an interest in pursuing a particular avenue. This person has actually demonstrated it by having the initiative and the drive to go out and find some relevance and experience and do it and expose themselves to it. Secondly, I think we also we feel you're more educated about what you're applying for, in the sense that obviously now you've had some experience, you've had a go at doing something in a similar line, you've a better feel for what it is you're applying for, so when you say you want to do it, you're quite frankly more credible.
If you can't get a vacation scheme, don't be disappointed. They are very competitive. There are a number of other different ways that you can get work experience and build up your CV. One of them is by contacting local solicitors and offering your services for free, so that you can get a bit of an insight and perhaps shadow a partner or a solicitor to really see what they do day to day. Another alternative is to work for Citizens Advice Bureau. You can do some pro bono experience, and that also builds up your knowledge. You may also want to consider going to sitting in a court. It's free, you don't have to book an appointment, and they do employment tribunals. There's a number of different ways that you can build up your legal experience in a creative way.
What I'd say is don't panic if you don't get a vacation scheme. There are different things that you can do. For example, you could think about placements within a commercial entity. So one of a law firm's clients, for example, might be that you could do an internship in a bank or a consultancy firm. There's ad hoc work experience placements. You know, even if it's a local high street practice, try and use your initiative, explore your contacts to try and get work experience elsewhere. You can do things like pro bono via universities, and then, you know, maybe there are other open days and things that you can get involved in.
Vacation schemes aren't the be all and end all. It's a good thing for us because we feel comfortable that you know what you're getting yourselves into. But if you've got work experience elsewhere, even if it's just open days at firms, definitely put those down. If you've got work experience in a friend's law firm, just shadowing someone for a day, you're still learning loads of invaluable stuff that you can't learn just from looking at websites or reading publications. If you've got Saturday jobs, worked in restaurants, bars, shops, you're learning so many skills that you should never downplay. Especially if you've managed to juggle a job with studying, that shows a lot of skills you've got that a lot of other candidates won't.
I've lost count of how many times I've met a student on campus who's told me that they haven't put down on an application form their menial work experience for fear that it wouldn't be taken seriously or it's not what we're looking for. I can't stress strongly enough that any work experience is relevant work experience. I'm not interested in what you have done per se. You could have stacked shelves in the supermarket, worked in a petrol station, worked on a chicken farm. It really doesn't matter. What is important is that you're able to demonstrate that you've got the skills and the attributes that we're looking for. And whatever the work experience is that you've done, you can show those. So whether it's determination because you've got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work on a farm, whether it's communication skills because you've worked with some really difficult customers who are drunk after a night out, it really doesn't matter, and I just can't stress that enough.
Because any work that you do and any involvement that you have in terms of paid work, in terms of voluntary work, is incredibly valuable. And when we read a CV and we see people who have done, I don't know what it might be, they might be working in a supermarket to get themselves through university. You know, that's interesting. We have a discussion about that. What did you learn from it? How did you work in teams, etc., etc. So any work experience that you can get is valid. If you haven't managed to secure legal work experience, that does not mean that you will not get a training contract.